everybody, my name is Amy and welcome back to my channel. In my last video I mentioned that I wanted to come back and do like my 2025 video because I didn't really talk about goals. I did in my whip parade and I did kind of touch base on all of the things that I wanted to touch in 2026. Sorry, not 2025. And so I thought that I would come on here and kind of talk to you about my goals since we're already 3 months into the year, but I have made a bunch of progress and I'm hoping to kind of continue into this momentum. I don't know. We're starting Q4 at work, which if you didn't know, I'm a school teacher, and Q4 is essentially like 9 straight weeks of like hardly any days off. I know we do have one Friday off. We have Good Friday off. And then I do have like my birthday day. We get 8 hours of paid annual leave, ideally to be used on or around our birthdays, but you could technically take it all year, which I think I took that on the 24th. So working 2 jobs, it's hard. And so this year I'm really trying to focus on my crafting, like my hobbies, and working. I don't want to play games on my phone. I don't want to waste time laying around. I want to try to use all of my energy wisely. So anyway, if you're new here, this is a channel about cross stitch. I don't really like that. This is a new setup for me. This used to be over there and I didn't like it. It was too close, and now I'm trying something totally different. So let's see how it works out. If it looks like I'm not looking at you or myself, is because the lens is like way over here, the screen is here, and I tend to like look at myself, make sure I'm in frame versus like looking at the lens, which is over here. Anyway, if you guys don't follow me on Facebook, you should find me because I have a lot of stuff in Stash Unload, or if you're in Stash Unload, find me there. I have several albums up if you guys are interested. I've got lots of patterns there, and I still have more to list that I haven't listed yet. Like, I'm probably getting rid of like close to $1,000 retail of stash. So there's that, because realistically, this is just the stuff that I have kitted. This doesn't include the 5 binders in my closet filled with patterns that aren't even kitted up yet, and things that I'd love to do one day. Anyway, this is I think I kept saying 2025. These are my 2026 goals. So if you didn't know, I have this basket right here, right? And my daughter, this has always been my active whip basket. I've had this basket probably for about 5 years now. I've been cross stitching since 2018, so 8 years, right? And so most of that time I've had this basket. Well, I don't know why my daughter didn't notice. Maybe she did and just didn't realize, like, I don't know. So the other day, right after my wet parade, she was like, Mom, what's the deal with this basket? Like, why are these projects different from those projects? And I said, well, because I was moving them around. And I said, these are all the things that I hope to get done this year. And she literally laughed in my face. Like, literally laughed in my face. Because I told her these were the things that I hope to finish. Now, some of these are unrealistic. We'll get to that. But some of them aren't, and we're going to talk about that. Okay, so this is all the stuff that I'm going to actively pursue this year. Now, that's not to say that I might not get bored and pull one of these out and work on them. Like, I've been missing my chatelaine, but I don't even want to get into that right now, which is in this one. I've also been missing my Harry Potter book covers. That was something that I've really been torn on, wanting to put into the active whip pile. I think I only have 2 of the books done. There's just so many things, right? So my intentions were to get some of these faster moving, mostly done projects out of the way to make room for the other stuff, right? So we'll see. And I'm not limiting myself. I'm okay with having a new start. I just started something a couple of days ago, like 2 days ago, and I'm okay with that. But what I'm not doing is actively adding to my stash, right? I don't have any like Holy Grail patterns anymore. I did for a long time. I did. And then my stash just kept getting larger and larger, and I can't maintain it. Ideally, what I wanted to do was everything that I had, I wanted to kit. and have ready to go, so that if I was feeling willy-nilly, I could just pull something and just start working on it. Yeah, that didn't work out so well, because this is maybe like an eighth of my actual patterns. And most of these, so everything that's in a project bag, there's more here that you guys can't even really see. There's 3 more shelves over here. You can kind of see the beginning of the shelves. Everything in a project bag is fully kitted. This is fabric. This is mostly kitted, and then the rest of the stuff in the bins is mostly kitted items, except for this guy is all of my like extra pieces and Q-snap pieces, and all of those things are stuck inside of there. So there's that. Anyway, been 6 minutes talking about nothing. So let's talk about the projects and what I want to finish this year. This one is one I've been hitting hard. You guys have seen this in my last several videos. It is the Friends horror. I don't have like a real picture of it. All I have is this chart. The Friends horror piece. Last time you saw it, I think I only had 4 of the guys done. Well, now I have 5.5 done. It looks amazing from a distance, which is what I'm hoping to be able to use it as. I am not thrilled with Freddy. His face is mostly done up till this point, and I have quite a bit to do down here, but my Q-snap kind of stopped like right here. And so I couldn't really get too much more down here, but he still has some fill-in up here. And this is all filled in, right? So from a distance, it looks amazing. I'm not too happy with the Chucky either. From a distance, it looks okay, and I'm hoping to keep it that way. Kind of look at from across the room type of thing. So I only have this part left to go. I have Hellraiser and Pennywise to work on, and the bottom portion of Freddy, and that's it. I think I'm going to put this in a larger Q-snap because I was using this tiny one. And so I wasn't like getting the whole thing, but I think I'm going to use a bigger one so that I can have this in one area so I can finish it the next time that I put it in. I just took it out of my frame right now because I think I'm going to move on from it. I've literally been working on this piece so much, but it looks amazing, and I'm excited for it to be this far. It is a full coverage piece, but it's not very large. You can see, I don't know how big it is. It doesn't say. It's 151 stitches by 110 stitches. So whatever that equals out to be, this is 11 count, if you want to do the math. So it's 11 count, 3 over 1 full cross. So that is something that I hope to finish this year. Again, it's not going to be like, oh my God, the end of the world, obviously, if I don't finish it, but girl can dream. Something else, I don't think this is going to be a finish, but I want to see some significant progress on this, is my Nostalgic Tarot patterns. This isn't as vibrant as it should be. This is from the Witchy Stitcher. I bought the first couple, and then I went ahead and signed up for her Patreon for the length of the charts. It took like a whole 1.5 years, I think, for these to come out. So yeah, there's that. I want to, I really want to see some progress on this. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'd love for it to happen, but shit happens. So here, I have this like on one piece of the fucking Q-snap. I don't know why. This is all I have done. It hasn't changed since the last time I showed you guys in my whip braid. I have 3 of the frames done, as well as part of the, so the words in the border, or the top part of the frame, but not that sides aren't finished, and that's fine. So that's kind of what that looks like. Hopefully you can hear me. And then my problem with this is that it's so big. I should have done this on a piece of probably 32 count. No, because this is 18 count Ada. So it wouldn't have mattered. I would have had to have done it like 28 count 1/2 or something like that. Or not 1/2, like 2/1 or 1/1 full cross for it to be like a normal size. So this is going to be ginormous. This is a piece of Ada that I dyed myself. I think it goes 5 across, 3, it goes 6 across. And I have 3 here. So there's going to be 2 more on this side and 2 more on this side. It's a very large piece of fabric. So I dyed this myself. It's just a black and kind of gray modeling type of situation. This is something that I want to get done. I really want to put this in a scroll frame, but I don't have the scroll frame adapter on for the Lowry. I want one. I have half a mind to try to make one on my own and kind of see how that works. I do have some scroll frames somewhere here. Next, sorry if you guys can hear the trash truck. Hopefully you can't. Next chart that I want to finish, hold on, I have a thread here that I need to secure, is Star Wars ornaments. It looks like this, and I'm freaking obsessed with this. It's beautiful. I love it. Now, the problem that I'm having is I don't enjoy stitching on Ada. That's the problem I'm having with this guy. And the problem I'm having with this guy, I'm not enjoying Ada. I haven't enjoyed Ada for a while now, probably like the past 2 years. I have not enjoyed Ada. Anything that I've started recently, I have done on a piece of higher count Lugana or Joblin, preferably Joblin. And I'll just do it 2/2 if I wanted to be like a 14 or a 16. It's just me. So that's my problem with this one. So I'm stitching this on a piece of Huntress by Be Stitch Me, and it is Opal Ada. Opal is even worse. I hate Opal Ada. This is what I have so far. It's not terrible, but it worked up so quick when I did. I started with Darth Maul here, worked up very quickly, went down to the TIE Fighter. I stopped because that's where my frame was at the time, and so I couldn't go beyond that. Did that, and then went up here to the Emperor right here. His face is already backstitched. I don't like the gray on the gray. Like, you can't see it unless you're like up close looking at it, but it still looks cool, you know? They should have chose a different gray for it. I think maybe it was just my dye lot that I got was just not as offsetting as I wanted it to be. So yeah, again, with the Ada, there's a lot of half stitches and fractional stitches in this that's really pissing me off. And it just wasn't something that I was looking at when I started this last year, because it looks normal on here, even though there's circles. That should have been my first clue, but I was too excited to start it to realize that I shouldn't have started this on a piece of Ada, but I did because I thought this background was going to look amazing. I didn't want to do it on the black because I already have the tarot one on the black, and I hate stitching on black Ada or black fabric in general because it's hard to see the stitches. So this is definitely something I want to finish. Okay. I'm aiming for a finish on that one. Oh, I don't want to lose the threads to that. That's stitched just with DMC. Next thing, I don't know why I like this so much, because I don't think it's pretty at all, but maybe because I spent so much time working on it, and again, I'm working it on a piece of Ada. If I could start all of these projects over again and switch them over to Lugana or Joblin, I would. But then that would involve me purchasing even more fabric, which I don't want to do because I'm trying to only use what I have unless I need floss. Because when you get to this point of cross stitching, it is not a budget hobby, I'll tell you that. Okay. Emily's House by Lindy Stitches. Is it Lindy Stitches? Shit. Yes, Lindy Stitches. It's pretty-ish. It's one of those things where it's like so ugly that you find it pretty. I don't know. It drew me. I'm not going to do the words at the bottom, and I'm not going to do the animals on the lawn, but I am going to do the grass, and I'm going to cut the chart short here so it won't be as big as it's showing on here. I'm stitching this on a piece of Ada from Be Stitch Me, of course. It's the color Mummy in 18 count Ada. So I'm doing 2 over 1 full cross. This is what I have. I would love to finish this, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I want to see some significant progress on this as well, because I'm tired of looking at it and taking up space in my stash. And it is a fun stitch. This roof hasn't been fun because it's like checkered. That's not fun. But I love working with gentle arts, and there is a lot of gentle arts in here. So that's one. Again, probably not a finish, but significant progress so that if I move them into next year, it's a finish. This one, I'd love to finish this year, just to get it out of the way. It is the Pixel 2021. Looks like this. It's a gamer one because I have other gamer ones that I was looking at in my binders that I'd love to start on. I just don't find it, like, I don't know, I just don't want a million gamer things all at the same time. And then I notice I have a ton of TARDIS pieces too, and I don't know why I did that. It just, yeah. So lots of nerdy things. Now this one, love stitching this one because it's stitched on a piece of Lugana. This I'm stitching on a piece of Silvery Moon Lugana from Zweigart, if I'm not mistaken. And I do believe, okay, brief interruption, my daughter showed up and needed to get her skates. So anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. Silvery Moon Lugana, so it's basically like a gray Lugana, and I believe this is 32 count, so I'm doing this 2/2, and this is what I have so far. So I have reached 2 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have reached 2 corners of the chart. So this, if I were to finish up to here, because there's spaces here, this would be halfway. It's an easy stitch. It just takes a little bit longer because the blocks are small, and so it's a lot of color changing. And so I've been trying to do all of the blocks, like as many as I can do. So then I can do, because they're chunks of blocks, like usually 4 blocks, so I can do the whole color at once instead of a block at a time. I think I'm going to continue doing the blocks before I come in and start working on any of the pattern. I don't know, I'm just kind of enjoying the way the blocks are. So I would love to finish this for sure. I'm torn on whether I should do, like, work on something until it's done, but my problem is I kind of get bored. So, and there's that. This isn't like a ginormous project bag for no reason. And if you guys didn't know, I make all my project bags. This is one of the first ones I made, which is so big. I believe, I can't remember the name of the lady, but her project bag size is bigger than I prefer. And so I made this one. I made this book sleeve, which is what I have Lindy stitches in. And then some of these aren't in a project bag. And I also made this one that I have the tarot one in. Unfortunately, the material doesn't fit in here. The Ada doesn't fit in here when it's on the frame because my bags aren't big enough to put the whole Q snap in there. But that's fine. So there's that. This I also want to finish. I worked on this a lot at the end of 2024 and at the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2026, so January. Made significant progress on it because I only had this done right here, and then I put in the rest of this row when I was binging Stranger Things again over Christmas break. I have a fabric itch. So this is my Monopoly board. This was a hand charted, which a lot of them are, chart by Stephen Shaw. His Facebook used to be called Stitchpad UK, and he got really popular for the chart. And somebody had reported him for copyright infringement, and then the chart disappeared for a while, and then it came back, and then it disappeared again. I don't know if it's available still or not, but I guess it had something to do with the likeness of the chart and it being too close to the Monopoly board. I'm sorry, did I even say it was the Monopoly board? This is what it looks like, kind of. It's really small. I don't have a bigger picture of it. this I'm hoping to finish because this is one of those, it just has so much negative space that I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be a finish this year. I'm stitching this in 14 count blue Ada from Everything Cross Stitch. This I haven't started, but this is in my active whip pin because I want to start this and get it going, is this Stormtrooper chart. And I was going to stitch all this black because the chart actually calls for you to stitch all the black, and I decided not to. Because it's going to cut my stitch floss color like amount by like more than half, because I needed 240 yards of just black alone, and then I need about 210 of the other two colors, which I mostly have them here. So I'm just gonna start this on a piece of Zweigart black Ada in 28 count. I'm gonna do it 2 over 2, and it's gonna look so fucking cool. So this is in my pile. I do want to finish this. The chart's only, well, I guess it is quite a few pages, but not all the pages are full pages. It is, it doesn't say, there's no page numbers on it, but I don't know. It's like 5 pages, but it's not. That also includes the coloring for the 310. So if I'm taking out the 310, it's cutting the chart down by half, like pretty close to half. And so I think it's going to be amazing. Chef's kiss on that pattern. My next goal project is, of course, Pandemic. I would love, love, love to see this as a finish this year, but I don't think that's going to happen. I believe this is still for purchase. It's from Long Dog Samplers, but I got mine when it first came out, like during COVID, for free. This is just, again, I'm obsessed with stitching on Lugana and Joblin, and I love stitching this so much. I had to order this from her because I requested a half a yard. So she's a big girl. I'm stitching this on 32 count Joblin in Ice Queen, and it is 2 over 2. And I've reached 2 corners of this on the top. So this is only how long it's going to be. I should have centered it more, because look how much I have here and how much I have here. So much more, but that's okay. So yeah, I've reached the 2 top corners, and this is, I don't know how many pages across. This is 4 or something, and it looks like this. And I'm stitching this in a variegated DMC 115. It's this red color, like this. I don't know why I chose these colors. It made sense in my brain at the time, and now it doesn't 5 years later. But I don't know, I still kind of like it. So yeah, Ice Queen. It has a blue background like the sky, and then this very vibrant red. So this I'd like to see as a finish, because I feel like it moves relatively quickly. This guy right here is taking me a very long time, but I think now that I'm nearing the end of it, it's not going to take me as long, because it was a lot of counting to make sure that there was no mistakes made with the zigzags on it, like the chevron type of pattern. The rest of the motifs kind of move pretty quickly after that. It's funny because I don't necessarily like sampler style stitching, like the old school sampler type, like the old Brenda Keys and those types of things, but I like stitching them. It's so weird. I don't enjoy the aesthetic of them. I don't like the way that they look. I was very torn on this piece because it's very sampler style, but long dogs tend to kind of draw me in a little bit more because they're a little bit more edgy than your classic samplers. And so, yeah, I just, something about it. I did the Linen and Threads one, the sampler that they had. I think it was like the 2020 stitch along. It's not available anymore. They used to keep them all available on their website, and I think they ran into an issue where they couldn't store them anymore, And so now I think they only do like the past 2 years maybe, or 3 years on their website, and then you have to purchase the rest. It is what it is. Next thing that I want to work on is this guy. I would love to finish this, but that's not going to happen. But I want to get a lot of it done. This is another one that I have not been enjoying the stitch because it's on Ada. And I'm not going to start this over. I'm really not. I guess I really don't have that much on here, but I don't want to start it over. This is the Universal Monster Cell, and I'm doing the so it's the Universal Monster Stitch Along where they're in this big mansion, and I'm doing the extended version. And so the thing with the extended version is that these aren't all Witchy Stitcher patterns. They are like, I don't want to say fans, but like charted from customers. People in her Facebook group have charted some of the other things, like the Sam and Dean and some of the other things, and they were available for free in the Facebook group. And so I just decided to add them on here again. It's on an Ada that I dyed myself. It's a piece of 18 count Ada that I dyed in this blue and purpley kind of Halloween-y vibes type of color. I wanted to do it on something like grayer, and thinking about it now, instead of the purple, I probably should have put like a black or a gray in here instead of the purple, but it is what it is. I started this years and years ago. I've worked on this minimally last year and the year before, and just not making significant progress. Number one, I think it's this frame. I think I'm going to take it out of this frame and no with it. Either that or keep the frame but change the orientation, and I'm gonna have the same amount of space but maybe work this way instead. And I think maybe that'll help because this is a frame that I made myself, and so it's a lot heavier than a Q-snap wood, so it falls out a lot in my Lowry. So progress, significant progress on that one. Not necessarily a finish. I'm stitching this in a mix of DMCs and Gentle Arts and the DMC satin or silk or whatever they're called. Next piece that I hope to make good progress on is Praiseworthy Stitches Bump Into Night Farm. I'd love to finish this. I think once I get this house done, I think it's going to be fine because all of the other pieces are so small. It's just getting through this damn house. I messed up somewhere along the way on the house, and so I'm trudging very carefully through it. I'm stitching this on a piece of 16 count Ada from Volcano Stitching, again with the Ada. I'm not enjoying the Ada. This is what it looks like. It's going to be cool as hell once it's done. Part of the reason for the color choices is I have so many Halloween pieces, and a lot of them are stitched on this like shadowy blue-gray background. I don't want them all stitched on that. There's a lot of Flosstubers that I enjoy watching, but they stitch the same style on the same color of fabric, and I find it quite boring, and I just didn't want that. So yeah, this is what I have. So I haven't figured out where I messed up, so I'm just still stitching. I just need to pull it out and work on it. This is not in a project bag. I just have it here. Where's the gloss for this? Oh, here. I'm confused. This is stitched mix of DMC, lots of Weeks Dye Works, a lot of Gentle Art, and some of my own that I dyed, a couple of Victorian mottos. I subbed a lot of colors for some of the fancy classes that I couldn't find at the time, and they were out of stock, especially during COVID. And so I kind of pulled with what I had. I absolutely loved Victorian mottos floss. I love stitching with it. It's beautiful. I was just finding that there wasn't a lot of variegation with it, and you know, even though it's very smooth stitching, it just didn't make sense to keep purchasing it. The next one, this I want to finish for sure. It's Memento Mori from Satsuma Street. It's freaking cute. did want to do this on the black background, but I chose not to because, again, I hate stitching on the black. But I'm stitching this on 28 count Joplin from Be Stitch Me, 2/2. So it's on a 14 count. It's not going to be terribly huge. This is the width of it. So it's going to be obviously a little bit longer than that, but this is what I have so far. Looks like this. It's cute. I really love the color scheme. I didn't think that I was going to like it at first because it is so bright, and it probably would have looked amazing on the dark fabric, but I'm already this far. I've already started it on this color. So I'm just gonna leave it. It's called Sand Dollar. I don't think I said that, but I'm just gonna leave it. Do want to finish this. It's stitched up very quickly. I think I only worked on this over a couple of days when my daughter was doing volleyball camp. And I was the only adult there, and so I kind of needed to be there. So yeah, there's that. I have this in a project bag that I made myself out of this Southwesty fabric. Isn't it beautiful? The other side's the wrong orientation, but that's okay because it's just mine anyway, with a blue and a brown zipper. My favorite. I would love to make project bags and sell them for you guys if I thought that they would sell. I would even do them like 20 bucks a piece, again, if I thought that they would sell. So those are the main focus pieces, things that I want to make super duper progress on. Something else that I pulled out and I want to make progress on, this is not going to be a finish because it's pretty intense, is Halloween at Hawthorne Hollow. Looks like this. I don't know, Carriage House sampling. So that's what that looks like. I have Autumn at Halloween. Autumn at Hawthorne Hollow as well. This I'm stitching on Shadow from Be Stitch Me. Again, it was another one that I had to order a half a yard for 32 count Lugana. Gorgeous piece of fabric. This was kind of the inspiration that I had for the Universal Monster sale. My dye just was darker than that, and this is progress that I have. So I have this ghost box is completely finished with the train, which one is, I don't know, 2/3 of the way done, and then I started on the underwater one right here. I love this piece. I love stitching on it, just the Lugana and the Joplin, guys. It's just makes me want to stitch. So I'm gonna pull one of these out here in a little bit, something on Lugana and Joplin, and stitch on it. I just don't know what yet. I really want to start that, what's it called? Stormtrooper. But then I'm like, well, I just started the next one. Something else that what are these for? I don't know what these are for. Figure it out in a second, I guess. Something that I want to make some progress on is my Lord of the Rings Gandalf. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because I just showed it. This is all the progress I have on that. Not crazy. I think it's like, I don't know, 300 stitches maybe. I think I'm going to wait. Well, this is probably going to be something that I work on in the summer just because I need super good lighting for it, and it's difficult to do when you don't have that because it's small. This is on 28 count Lugana, even weave, just from Zweigart that you get like at well, it's left over from when I used to shop at Hobby Lobby. They don't have Lugana at my Michael's, so there's that. Finish Halloween Quicker from, that's Wet Spot Leela Studio. This needs to be a finish because as much as I love it, I'm tired of it. Just putting that out there. See, I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I knew it. This goes to this. So I guess I could take this off because I'm not freaking stitching on it. I have this bad problem where I like everything to be on a Q-snap so that I can just easily swap it out. and then it just stays on the Q snap forever. I'm right here. I showed this last time. So I need, oh, I guess I need a motif down here. I thought I was done. Guess I'm not. And then the stuff in this top corner. Haven't worked on it since I showed it in my last video. So there's that. This needs to be finished because, like I said, I'm tired of looking at it. So that's definitely shooting for a finish on that one. This one I'm not necessarily shooting for a finish on, but I think I will finish it, is Travel by TARDIS by Country Magic Stitch. I have a couple more from her that I'd love to stitch as well. I have Visit the Shire, and I have Visit Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade one I'm kind of on the fence about now because it has so much white in it, but Visit the Shire is so dang pretty. Country Magic Stitch just has some beautiful charts. They have some Star Wars ones, if I'm not mistaken, too, that I'd like to do. So here's Travel by TARDIS. And I have like 3 other TARDIS patterns in here, and I don't know why. So haven't stitched on it since the last time because I just got the floss the other day to finish the blue. So this is where I'm at. This is basically the end of the chart. So I've got 2 corners of the top done, and this is the width of the chart that it's going to be. And this is 2 pages. So the chart is only 4 pages, and it's a lot of color blocking. So I have no like qualms about finishing this year. So this is definitely, again, not something that I'm pushing to finish this year, but something that I am believing that I'm going to finish this year for some reason or another. So there's that. All of my extra flosses are just falling everywhere. Okay. And my new start that I am probably not going to finish, but I want to get some significant progress on, is the Talavera by Linen and Threads. This was their 2021 stitch along, and I don't have a finished picture. I think I took a screenshot. I'll put it up here of the finished picture. I just have all the parts. So I don't know what I was thinking printing the frame back to back. And it's been a little bit difficult for me to put the idea together in my head. So I had to draw a chart of like where I was at, and I started right here in the center. This is going to seem a little unusual. I just really wanted to get this started because I've had the floss sitting right here for the longest time, and I really wanted to get it done. So I'm stitching this on My Sunshine is the color by Bestitch Me, of course, in Joblin. 32 count, and I'm doing it 2 over 2, so essentially 16 count. And I have the first 2 boxes started. This is the middle, so it's gonna be, I wrote it down, 17 by 23. No, it is gonna be 10 1/4 by 16 1/4 ish. Those are my I round up. And so they recommend stitching it on a piece of 17 by 23 inch fabric, which this is just shy of that. Well, no, it's 18 by 34. So it's the right size. This was a fabric of the month piece. So it's a pretty good piece size of fabric. I just started in the middle. I thought the yellow would be a good color for it because I was gonna do, I'll put the thing up here again so you guys can see. A little bit of greens and a little bit of yellow. But then I was thinking, well, if the background is yellow, then I don't really need to stitch the yellow. But I think this is still dark enough that it's going to come up. What do you think? I'm going to try it and see. For some of the motifs, I'll show you what I mean. So if you don't know what Talavera is, it's a Spanish style of painting. And they use it, it's very popular in Mexico and Spain. It's very colorful and whimsy, not whimsy, it can be, but very colorful. My favorite one was the blue style. So I'm stitching this mostly in this blue DMC, variegated. There's 2 different ones. I got the one with the darker blue in it. There's one that's lighter blue that has more of the very light blue. I didn't bring that skein over here, but I'll put the color on the screen. And so what I had thought is that Like this would probably be an all blue square, but there's some other ones in here that have more like leaf components. They're not here. They're over there with the chart that I thought I could do in the green and possibly touches of yellow for some of the florally parts to give it like an homage to the classic colorway of Talavera. So I'll put an example here of what I was thinking. So I thought the yellow would be perfect, and honestly I'm probably never going to use this yellow fabric anyway, and so I thought, you know what, might as well, because right now I'm all about stitch from stash. And yeah, those are my 2026 goals. That was a lot, and I was talking really fast. I have a few minutes to cut out, and it looks like this video is probably going to be 40 minutes. I'm hoping I can cut a tiny bit more than that, but I doubt it. Probably 45. But that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. So let me show you guys. This is the bin. Like, that's a lot of stuff. Plus, there's 2 charts here. There's another chart here. They don't all fit in the thing. Now you're triggered. So, what do you think? We'll see. We'll see if I can get it. Those are my ideas. I'm going to pull one out and I'm going to quit wasting time, and I'm going to stitch while I edit this video and then go about my day. So hopefully I can get this up tonight maybe, or tomorrow morning, because I don't want to leave YouTube for extended periods of time. I want to make videos and show you guys things and kind of get back into it. I've been saying that for a while now, and it's been harder than I anticipated. So again, I have lots of stuff up for grabs on Stash and Load. Go check me out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.